everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am starting my vlog for my next reading Booktubers favorite books, and as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail for this video, I'm gonna read Jade from Jadeyraereads favorite books for this vlog. And I'm very excited. I'm also a bit nervous because as we were talking through like which books that I was gonna read, we realized I had read a lot of Jade's favorites and I don't really like them. Which I feel terrible about, and I feel like Jane and I will speak again, but it's fine, it's fine. So I'm just gonna go through some of the books that she suggested first and then tell you which books I'm starting out with. I'm gonna keep the rest of the books as a surprise because that's fun. No one cares, but I'm just doing it like that. And like, if you know Jade's taste, I'm sure you will know which books that is gonna show up in this video. But alas, let's first start with the books I had already read that she suggested and quick thoughts about them. So I'm just gonna start out with the one that I actually like enjoy the most, and that is House Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. So this one is a Studio Ghibli movie. The book is a bit different, but it's like a whimsical kind of middle grade fantasy where we have Sophie that is cursed to be an old woman, and then she goes into this moving castle which meets Howl, who has different abilities, and they're in this castle finding this conflict thing. I don't even know how to explain the book. I read it quite a few years ago now, and I have like obviously watched the movie several times, but obviously they're like very different. But I really love it. I really love how this is written, how whimsical it is. I still haven't read the rest of the series and I really want to. I just never have a chance to like pick them up, but I still really want to. I really want to reread this as well. And while like this is so different from the movie, and that movie is my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, I just love this book as well a lot. So like when she said that, I was like, yes. But I already read it, so alas, I can't read it for this vlog because then I already know how I feel about it, you know. Other things she suggested that is her faves is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And this one I read when I was coming home from Japan in 2020. And I remember it made me go into a slump because I was not really enjoying myself. I feel like I just didn't like the characters. I don't even remember. Like, I was just annoyed. I deleted the book from my mind. Now at this point, I do really want to still continue the series. I talked to Jazz, among other people, that say that while like maybe the first book is a bit shaky, it gets better. And I feel like I still want to like enjoy this world and these characters because it's like, such a beloved series. So I feel like I really enjoy the rest of the series more. I'm debating rereading this, but I'm also like, nah. I remember just I didn't care about the city even. I don't even remember. I was just like, I can read a sequel if you want, even though I usually don't read sequels for these vlogs, but this is an exception apparently because I literally have 2 sequels in here. So I gave this like a 3 out of 5 stars. Like, I don't hate it, but I feel like I was just like, oh my god, this is it. Everyone has been raving about this series for so long, and this is what I feel. Debating rereading it, probably won't. Next one Jen had was The Rainbow Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and I actually really recently reread this. By recently I mean like 2 months ago because Erica wanted to read them. And this one follows Blue, who has this prophecy about her where if she kissed the love of her life, he will die. And then she sees the vision of these dudes and gets involved with them. These Raven Boys is like 4 friends, and they are trying to find this Raven King that will give the wish to the person who finds them. The atmosphere is really cool. Like, it's very an atmospheric book, and there's like interesting aspects to the story, but it's just not for me, I think. I have read the second book as well, and I did not like that book at all. I just don't love maybe how Maggie writes. I read 2 other books by her, and like I don't love those either. But I can see like kind of the aspects of the story you can enjoy. I just like don't care about the Raven Boys as well. But I feel like maybe if I read this in another time of my life, I would enjoy it more. But I did read it a few years ago, and I was like, okay, this is it. And then when I reread it, I liked it less, like now. So I don't know. This is like one of just like ultimate faves of all time. And I'm just like, dang. I'm sorry, Jade. I'm sorry. I am actually planning to read through the whole series now. Like, I read only 1 and 2 because Erica want to read them. And I don't know how I will feel about the rest. But also, we listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook narrator was not amazing. So I think that affected the story a bit for me as well. But I read them when I read them for the first time. I read them just physically. So I don't know. When I first read it, I think I gave it 4 stars. Now when we read it, I think I gave it 3 stars. I'll take from that what you will. And the last one that just suggested that I already read was Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And I didn't love this at all. I really like Neil Gaiman's writing. I read other books by him that I really enjoyed, and I was very excited for this. This one just follows London, or this boy in London, and then he like enters London below, so it's kind of like a parallel universe where everything is like different from like where he's from, and he's trying to get back to his London, if I remember. And it's very like whimsical and written cool. Like Neil Gaiman writes. I cannot review books today or ever, but I didn't like it. I was uninterested in the things happening, and I wanted it to be done. I was just so done with the story. And like now I like literally feel like I deleted the book from my mind because I was just not into this. And I feel really bad because looking at it now I'm like, why didn't I like this? I feel like, did I give it 3 stars? I feel like it's a 2-star. Deleted the book mostly from my mind because I try to just keep the ones that I really enjoy in there. So I feel like I can't even talk properly about stuff here. Not that that's what this video is for, but again, didn't really love this at all. What are we doing here? Like, no, and then, not no, but like feeling like mid, and then this one I enjoyed. So I'm like, okay, let's see what I will feel going on. So I'm gonna start the first book for this vlog today, which is not these. The ones I'm starting with is actually a sequel, but it's like, it's Jay's favorite in the series. So like, while it's a sequel, yes, like I don't usually do sequels for these. Like I would do it maybe if I read the first book, if like it was their fave. But this is like Jay's favorite in that series. So if you know Jade, you should know that this author would have come up. And that is of course Sebastian de Castell. And this is Night's Shadow. And the first book is The Traitor's Blade. And I read The Traitor's Blade before. And I didn't really love that either. Like seriously, what is wrong with me? I feel so bad. And the whole thing is that this is the second book in the Great Coat series. And the Great Coats are like a army of people or fighters that worked for the king. And they were like his most loyal, I was gonna say, soldiers. And then it is this thing that they betrayed him. And now they're like disgraced. And when people see Great Coats, they're like, stay away from us, kind of. And then in the first book, we kind of have many years later after this has happened, after like the Great Coats has fallen into disgrace, and now they get like this mission to protect this person. We kind of have like these duels, we're fighting, we're going on like the road, and we're getting this flashback to what really happened for like when the Great Coats fell into disgrace. I didn't really love it because I remember feeling very bored. I just didn't care. I like the flashbacks enough, and I like to see like what happened to them. I was just not interested in like the characters, and the story was kind of boring. And I remember when I told Jay this, she was just like, boring. Of all the things you can describe Great Coat as, boring. Never heard that before. I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars, and I thought I would really love it because I heard about the series for such a long time, but I just felt like really like about it. But I have my hopes up now. This is Jay's favorite in the series. Usually I end up enjoying the second book like a lot. Like there's a pattern where I always enjoy the second book in series a lot. Now we establish a world and know kind of what I'm getting into. I don't have the same expectations going in, so I'm feeling I can enjoy this. And I am gonna try to read like 300 pages today. It's like 600 pages exactly. It's really thick. We're gonna see what happens with the Great Coats and the crew. And I'm just really bad at describing this book, but just deal with it. And yeah, we're gonna see how I feel about it. I'm hoping I will enjoy it. And then we have other books in this, obviously. I'm nervous now because I feel like I just judge so harshly, but we shall see. So it will be a good time. Let's hope I like this. So I will update later today when I have read some. Yay. So I did actually start Night Shadow yesterday. It's here. I didn't read the 200 pages I wanted. I read 256 because I kept procrastinating at work and looked at books and chatted with people, and what else did I do? Either way, shit. And then when I came home, I played Sims instead of reading, so there's that. I was planning to finish it today, but then I realized that I thought that this month ended on Thursday, but it ends on Friday. So I have one more day, and then thereby I can finish this tomorrow, probably. Unless I decide suddenly to finish it today. But overall, I think in the first one, I was just put off by a lot of things, but I am enjoying the story much more now. I'm very into it, very interested to see what will happen, and like, interested to see how things plays out. There's definitely stuff that is happening that I don't expect is coming, and I really enjoy like to see how the characters react, and like things surprises me. Like 2 things in these 250 pages I was like because I was really like, oh my god, what is going on, what's gonna happen? And I'm very curious. I like the characters. I think they are a bit over the top, but that's kind of like the point. They're funny. I'm very curious to see like what happened in this world, because we kind of like the king that our main character followed. He's not there anymore, obviously, because that's why like they're disgraced and all that. So I'm just like curious to like what will happen to this world, how will this actually go and up. And I am enjoying it so far. I'm very intrigued, much more liking it than the first one. So far so good. We'll just see like if it holds up and like if I enjoy like what happens next. We're just fighting, we're going around, we are on a quest in a way, but also not, and investigating and fighting, and yeah, it's cool. And funny interactions with the characters. So we just see what more it has to play. One thing that like it is a fantasy series, of course, but it doesn't like have any like magic system like or high magic a lot at all. So like I think that is interesting when a fantasy is like that. I don't have more. I shall keep reading and keep you updated of how I feel, but I'm feeling okay now. I'm feeling good, positive. Think I will enjoy it, hopefully. I was gonna sit in the window for better light, but it was honestly, it's too much. It's too much. Hello, hi. This is better. I did finish 9 Shadows today at work. I couldn't update my reading, but like it would have been spoilers anyway. But I, was a bit skeptical going in because like I didn't, love the first book. I gave it like 3 stars and like I felt a bit bored, etc. This was utterly amazing. I am like in awe of what this book did. It made me so invested with the characters. It cared a lot for the story. I cared so much for like what was gonna happen, and the storyline was totally crazy. It was very much like a lot of things in the last moment, like plot twist upon plot twist, and I'm a person who really enjoys that. I'm a person who like really enjoys like we think this thing and they're gonna do this thing, but that thing never happens. Something else happens every time, kind of. And also people maybe will think it's like too much or like over the top or something like that, but for me it just worked perfectly. It knows exactly what it's doing and how it's written, whereas like it's kind of humoristic. There's like a lot of sad and terrible things happens, but it's humoristic in a way where you can bear it and be like in for the story and for the characters that like are kind of humoristic about it, but they're still like just doing it, and characters that are basically thinking they're terrible but they're not really the terrible ones. But either way, I was really very much enjoying myself. Like I was thinking this is where we struggle 4-star read, then a certain thing happened and I just loved it. It was just written so well and like just how things came together and just how the characters work with each other, and just how the book is written. It's just done so well. It knows, as I said, exactly what it's doing and how it wants the story to be told. And just a certain thing happened, and I was just sitting at work, like literally gasping and being like, oh my god, I wish I had someone to speak to it right now. So it went from a really strong 4-star to a 5-star read because it was literally amazing. And Jade said that, it's a favorite in her series, in the series for her, which I can totally see. I'm not saying that the rest of the series is bad, but I wonder now, like, if it can even keep up what it did here for me, because now, like, I feel like I'm on a high, and I feel like it cannot, do the same amazing thing one more time. I feel like it's not possible. But we shall see what happens. Not that I'm going to read the next books for this vlog, but obviously now I really want to read the rest. It was amazing. 5 stars. Hello people! I have now started the next book for this vlog, which is surprise, Master of Sorrows by Justin Cole. And this one is obviously the next of Jade's favorite. I didn't know anything about this, like, at all. I just started it. It seemed to be starting off with this child getting born, and it seems like to be the child of someone that was a god that, like, I think turned evil. And then we follow a main character, which name is Anev, and he seems to be like a bit unfortunate. He's like an acolyte in like this academy where you can like through tests go upwards in the hierarchy in an academy. And then like he seems to have like a really evil side. I don't know if he's supposed to be the child we had in the beginning, or if they like the book is trying to trick us and maybe someone else is that child. The impression I'm getting is that he is like the evil one. He's like the bad guy that we are following. Because usually, we follow heroes, but I feel like he's the bad guy. I just get that vibe because he seems to have a dark side. But right now he's just trying to survive and gonna like prepare himself for like the next test in the academy. And that's like what I'm getting so far. I read like 95 pages, and obviously I'm not going to spoil anything that happens. But like I still need to talk a bit about like what the book's about. I don't know what to expect at all, but I am excited to read more. It's really interesting. It seems like a good solid fantasy so far. So we shall see how I feel about it. And I'm going to go and read more now. I'm not going to finish it today, but try to finish it tomorrow. So we shall see. Yay. Hello. So I realized I never gave an update after starting Master of Sorrows last night. Or last evening, whatever you're calling it. I am now 437 pages in. So I'm soon done. I'm planning to finish it now before going to bed. And I'm really enjoying it. I read like about 300 pages yesterday and I'm really enjoying it. It is a bit slow paced, like, and a lot of stuff happens, but I feel like the payoff is really good because it's written really well and you really get to know the main character and like his journey and like kind of the world and what it is setting up. Even though I feel like it's a lot of setup, etc. I also think it's interesting to see different sides of the characters that we now have time for to get to know, etc. And I actually did something today that I usually don't do, and it's that I had to do something else that meant that I couldn't use my eyes. I didn't have to do it, but I really wanted to. So I decided to just listen to some of the audiobook while doing that. And the funny part is that it said that I would use 1.5 hours to finish the whole book, but then I listened to 2 hours of audiobook and I only got like 134 pages further, but that is 134 pages the last I have to read physically now. So it is good, which is just funny because I think that my reading speed was like 200 pages an hour, and then when the audiobook started it was like 58 pages an hour. So I ruined my own stats in my book tracking app, but it's like fun. It was just funny. Granted, if I used those 2 hours just reading, I would have finished the book, but now I have to read before going to bed. But it's just funny. I usually don't do that because I don't like switching medium. But my point was to talk about this, about audio, is that it's called David Kenny. Was that his name? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. Like right after saying all this. But I saw the name of like the narrator, obviously, because it's said on the audiobook. And it's the same dude who reads The Witcher. And I was like, oh my god, because I love the narration of the Witcher books. I listened to all of them on audio several times, at least like the first one. And I'm just like, oh my god. So now the whole book got a different view in my head. Because when he got his voice, like all the characters just got a different kind of personality, the ones that I had given them in my head. And like the whole had like different like the whole image of the whole book just changed for me in a way, and it just made me like much more. David Kenny, I think that's his name, and he's just such a great narrator. I really love his voice and like the different voices he do, and I was just like wow, that he was the same narrator, and made me really happy. I don't know if everyone would be as happy as me or just like think he's a good narrator, but I love the Witcher books especially because I feel like he has a really distinct voice and I feel like he fits really well for those books. And I was just like, at first I was just like, this is so weird because I never heard him narrate anything else than The Witcher, and I was like, this is so weird. And then I could really use it and I started to really love it. So I'm kind of sad I'm finishing off the book with an audio, but I want to like finish it. The audio took ages because it's like a lot of text. It's taking a long time to listen to it. But yeah, just really good audio. So if you want to go the audio direction, I would definitely recommend it. It's just fun. So that was like a fun surprise as I switched over. I made good progress and I'm really liking the story. Even though, as I said, it's not like super fast paced. It's not like a lot of action. It's just a really like interesting setup. And I am the person who really like kind of training parts. They're not exactly in training anymore, but like growing up in a certain place and like having worked a hard time in kind of like a school environment for a long time, I really enjoy that kind of setup for any story. So for me, it fits really well. I think it's really well written and it's a really good book. I do think my main complaint right now is that some parts are a bit repetitive. There was like kind of a scene that I get is really important, but we used such a long time on that scene. Like it was like over and over and never ended. And then when we were done with that scene, like finally, we had to like repeat it 2 times to explain to other people what happened. And I was just like, I get it. It's kind of important, but also it took so long. Like that was like 50 pages too long to just, when we had already as a reader experienced it. And we just like had to repeat it like twice, even though like it is reasons for it, it was still just felt really lengthy and dragged out. But yeah, it's really interesting parts, and there's interesting part how disability is, I was going to say, represented in the story. I know people have talked about it and I like their representation. Our main character has a disability by not having an arm, but it's a secret. Did I talk about that in my first clip? I cannot recall because I didn't know at the time. Disability like that is seen upon like really bad, and like you will be like disgraced and like seen upon like the son of like the evil dude, like the evil god in the land, and would like be banished or whatever. So that's why he has to keep it a secret. And obviously he's not happy about this. And now we kind of saw another place where like that kind of disability is not looked upon the same way, and he was just like, wow. So I thought it was like an interesting contradiction, comparison. I cannot words say. And yeah, there's like another character who also had like scars that he got and is like has affected his life as well, and like how he hadn't realized kind of what effect those had to him because he personally didn't care. And it was just interesting. Obviously not the best person to talk about like all these subjects, but like still things that I notice and I care about. I am enjoying it, and I'm gonna go and finish it now. And yeah, woohoo. Obviously, it sounds amazing as Night Shadow, but I don't understand what can ever top that book, to be honest. So we shall see. We shall see. Hello. So last night I did end up finishing Lost Our Sorrows. Yay! And I did quite enjoy it. The ending had some things happening that I did not like expect coming. I saw some things I was like definitely, but then like how it all came together, and especially like the thing in the end then was quite surprising, and I really enjoyed it, and I really want to read the second book now. So overall, an enjoyable book. I give it a strong 4 out of 5 stars. Like, it's not a complete 5-star for me, but it's like so many elements that I liked of it, and like a typical fantasy I would enjoy, so it's a good pick for this vlog. Obviously Night Shadow is still winning, but still a good pick, enjoyable pick. If it's anything, you know, I feel a strong like for, I call it a win. So far so good. Gonna continue this vlog very soon, but have some other reasons I need to do first. But that is final Master of Sword thoughts, I guess. Oh, I'm gonna, you know, wrap it up a bit more in the end. But yeah, an enjoyable read. A bit slow sometimes, but the elements all together worked really nice for me. Why do I look so weird? What's with the light? Seriously, it's like really weird. It looks like a roasted fish. But either way, it's a new day, new opportunities, and I'm starting the next book for Jade's favorites, which is, surprise, surprise, Name of All Things by Jen Lyons. Actually, don't know if this is the favorite in the whole series for Jade. I don't think so, but I had already read A Rune of Kings. I said so, because she always suggested A Rune of Kings, and then she said just read the sequel then. Again, don't really read sequels for these, but I guess it works because I really want to continue the series. And I'm starting this today. I don't think I will finish it today because it's like 700 pages. I want to say I want to finish it today, but I also know I'm not because I'm going to procrastinate and do lots of other stuff that is unrelated to reading. If I didn't procrastinate, I might finish it today, but probably not. I will give updates. I feel like I should say what the first book is about, but I don't even literally know how to explain it. Like, it is set in this fantasy world, obviously, and then we have a main character who finds that he is the son of like one of like the lords, the future rulers of the land, and then we are set like kind of, we tell the story of him figuring this stuff out, and then also in the future where he's somewhere else, and it's told like from different perspectives, but from his perspective. It's really weird and complex, but really cool, really well written. The whole series is amazing, but super confusing and weird as well. And we have giants and magic and demons, and I think like the whole concept of the story, as like I've seen pitched before, is that we follow the person who's meant to be like the evil one, like, you know, the evil one in a fantasy story. We follow the person who is meant to be the dark one, and what do you do if you are prophesized to be the dark one, kind of. I think that's like kind of the concept, and it's like really diverse with like different characters, etc. And it's a cool story with a huge set of characters and like world, but also it's confusing. That's it. I don't know how to describe the book, but I'm gonna read this for this vlog and we'll see if I do this more or less than the first one. I think the second one, this is kind of the same as the first book, just told in a different point of view. And it's been a while since I read the first book, and I don't bother rereading, so we should see like if I can connect the pieces, because I am not clever sometimes, you know. So we shall see. But yeah, excited. Let's go. Hello. It has been a little minute. I have reading very slowly. I only read like 100 pages each day, so it's been like 3 days. So I'm only like on page 300 and I think 9 in Name of All Things. I'm liking it. I don't have anything against the book. It's just been hard to read lately in the last 3 days. I wanted to actually finish it yesterday, actually the day before that, but I didn't, and now I feel really behind. But I am enjoying it. I'm very confused, but it is like, as people said, it's like the same thing as in the first book, where we kind of just repeat events from a different point of view. I really enjoy how things are written. I enjoy that half of it is written in first person, where the rest is written in third person, and I like how like the story is told, and I think it's very fascinating, but I am confused. But yeah, I'm having still a good time. So the reason I decided to finally update is because I am planning to finish it now today, because I'm going to the bingo, so then I get to probably finish the whole thing. I just feel bad because I should have been done a long time ago, but I will catch up. It's fine. That is all I want to say. Now I need to go to work. Bye. Hello. So today at work I did finish The Name of All Things, and I did have a good time with it. I feel like I like the first book more, but I'm still like engaged in the story, and like I really like how the setup for these stories are, like how the author chooses to write it, changing from like the point of views. And I feel like I can't really describe the book well. It's just, epic fantasy, several point of views, a lot of stuff and political stuff going on. I did enjoy it. I just feel like I was a bit lost in it as well, like, of stuff happening, which doesn't happen that often, but I feel like it happened to me a bit in this one. But I still like engaged and thought it was fun and a good ride, and I'm giving a strong 4 out of 5 stars. I do think like for now I like the first one the most right now. I'm really excited now to read the third book, to see like how now the story will evolve now that we had like set up all these things in the first and second one. And I know also, as I said earlier, did I say that earlier? Maybe that the fourth one is Jadey's favorite. So I'm curious to see where everything will go. It will be a good time. That is thoughts on like a 4-star, 3.5 maybe. I feel like more like a 3.75 to be very specific here. I'm excited to read more books for this vlog. We shall see. Thoughts. Yay. Hello. So I'm reading the next book for this vlog. And I need to update before I start it because I'm planning to finish it today, so the next update will be me finishing it, hopefully. And it is! Surprise! The Blackhawks by Jadeyraereads. So I am excited for this. It gives me a bit of like Greatcoats vibes, maybe. As I said, this for fans of Joe McCormick and Scott Lynch. And I read one book from one of those authors, the most popular ones they have. I mean, Scott Lynch doesn't have that many, but Joe has a couple. And I don't love them. So you just see how I feel about this. Obviously, even though they're compared to them, doesn't mean I won't like this. I don't really know about the plot, etc. But it says, when a restore the kingdom into turmoil, Cal finds opportunity in the chaos. If he escorts a stranded Princess Evity, Cal will be released from his oath. And then I think they're kind of like a rough band of people, warriors called Blackhawks. And I'm excited, like, because I kind of just like, you know, not always heroes and stuff. So it seems like they will not follow that. And actually, I bought this a while ago when Jade read it and said she really loved it, and I just like kept it. Obviously I keep my books, but I mean like I just didn't have a chance to pick it up, and now she said like for this vlog that it was one of her favorites. And I think it's funny that I bought it because of Jade and I'm reading it in Jade's vlog, not in Jade's vlog, in my vlog, reading Jade's favorites. Either way, gonna start this now. See you soon. Hello. Vlogging as always in very bad light because I always vlog in the nights. I did finish the Blackhawks earlier when I was printing, and I liked it. I don't think like it's my new favorite or anything like that, but I had a good time. So it does follow Kel, I'm not sure how to say his name, and he agrees to protect the prince for like a certain promise and stuff, get him to a safe location, and then it goes out on like this whole journey to like trying to protect him while all the things are happening in the kingdom. And then they also meet like the band. I'm calling them the band, the Blackhawks, and they are after other certain things. So it goes out on this thing, and I did enjoy it. I really liked how it was written. It was very like funny and witty, really like rough in the language, and just like having a certain tone. I really liked the tone of the story. It reminded me a bit of like Greatcoats, a bit, maybe a bit of Abercrombie and Scott Lynch in there, so I can see like the comparison. So I did enjoy that. That was probably like my favorite aspect of the story, how it was written. It felt very unique and like a certain atmosphere and tone of the story. I just didn't like love the plot. I was kind of like not that engaged in it, and like that plot twist I didn't like fall off my chair or anything, but I feel like it doesn't need to be all those things to be like a really good book. Like obviously you can really enjoy something without it having you falling off the chair, but it was just something about like, oh yeah, it was like this, and it was fine. It was like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't amazing either. It was not like Night Shadow, just like to compare, but obviously I thought the book was okay. I would like round it up to 4 stars I think, but I'm giving it like a 3.5. So like I did enjoy it, but it's not like a new favorite or anything like that. But yeah, I had a good time. Not a bad book at all, would recommend. So yay, now there's only one book left for this vlog, which I am thinking to read tomorrow. So you should see me then for whatever I have to say then. Hello, it is a new day, and today I started a last book for this vlog. I don't know why I said that as if I was starting like a new video or something. It was weird. Either way, last book for this vlog is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Vandermeer, is that how you say the name? I don't know. And I started this at work today a bit. So on page 446. And I'm hoping to finish it tonight. We shall see. But basically, I have watched the movie and I did quite enjoy it. It's really like a weird movie where it follows this team of scientists that goes into this area called Area X, where like there's really like weird biometric things happening, and like the whole aspect is that they're supposed to go in there and like study it, and then like weird shit happens to people that go in there, like several groups of scientists that go in there, and now we follow one of the groups. I like the movie where like everything was just weird. It's kind of like a fever dream, and here it's kind of the same concept. We actually start right as they just enter the thing. There's not like really build up, and we get like a bit of a backstory. No one really has names. They're all just called from like their career, and they just go for like weird shit in there, and other people that's been in there, so weird stuff has happened to them as well. Just know the whole thing is like weird what's it called, nature weirdness, I don't even know. But yeah, so far really enjoying it. I am actually very surprised of how the languages, I thought for some reason it would be like really like up in the air and like hard to understand and grasp the language, because well, it just seems like that from the book, but it's actually just very like straightforward. I understand everything that is written. I don't understand what's happening because I don't think you're supposed to. It's like, as I said, a fever dream, but language very easy to read, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, very much enjoying it, so we shall see if I can finish tonight. If I do, then this vlog will be over. Oh my god. I just like, I love doing these vlogs, like generally a reading vlog, but I always like, instead of just reading all the books I need for the vlog after one another, I'll just like read other things in between and then eventually finish the vlog because I'm stupid. I could have finished this ages ago. I'm stupid. But yeah, okay, so we are excited to read this. Weird, but I am liking it a lot, and it's also like, you know, very short. So I shall soon be done. We shall see. And I will see you then. I did finish Annihilation. I actually don't know how to say this word. And I did finish it. It was weird. I actually don't know what's going on. It kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, and then I read the synopsis of the next book. It doesn't say me anything. But interesting. Really weird. Don't really know anything, but I don't think kind of that's the point. But still enjoyable. Really well written. 4 out of 5 stars, I guess. We have a cute dog. Say hello, Gigi. Not to me, to the camera. Okay. Well, that means I finished all the books for the vlog, but I will wrap up thoughts and all that good stuff tomorrow. And then this vlog's over. A good time. Yay. Hello. My life became chaos, so I never updated this vlog and finished it off. But I'm gonna do it now. I finished all the books for Jade's favorites, obviously, which is why we're here. And these are the books. Actually, can we talk about how I have them all like in the same like UK paperbacks, so they all like match in height? Didn't even plan that, but it's turned out really good. And I guess we're gonna rank them now quickly. Oh, this is weird. I don't know. I think this is hard actually, because I enjoyed quite all of them. Obviously, we already know my favorites, but I enjoyed all of them. Like, I liked them all. But which one did I like the least, and which one did I like the most? Okay, I think on the 5th place, which like still I enjoyed, by the way. I enjoyed all of this, but I have to rank them because that's what I do. On 5th place, I think we have the Blackhawks. I did really enjoy it and thought it was good. It was just like the plot fell flat for me, but I really enjoyed the writing, etc. So it goes on 5th place. It was really hard to decide. I think maybe on the 4th place we have the Name of All Things, just because I really still enjoy the series. Overall, I'm gonna finish it, and I know I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. It was just something about the story that like wasn't as interesting as the first one, but I'm very excited to continue. Still like a very strong book though. And then on the 3rd place we have Annihilation. It was really good, really weird. I just love the eerie atmosphere in this, which is why it's ranked so high. Even though like you don't really know why these things are happening. I don't even know if we would get answers at all. It was just something about the story and how it's written and done in the way it's done that just makes it a really interesting book and really unique as well. So it gets 3rd. Then obviously on the 2nd I'm putting Master of Sorrows. So while this was very slow paced, the more like now it's been some time, not like a long time, but it's been some time, and I got to think about it. I just really enjoyed the story, because yes, it was slow paced, but it was just such a good story, and how it was written and how the story was set up is very much like a fantasy I enjoy. And the more I think about it, the more I enjoy it, instead of like the opposite, because sometimes the opposite can happen. And I'm very excited to read a sequel. I should get a hold of that, so I have it ready to go. It was just a really good book, and I'm really glad I read it. I feel like I've seen the cover, but like I don't know if I would ever pick it up, maybe, unless like someone told me to. So I'm glad that I did for this. And then of course on 3rd place we have Night Shadow, because it was amazing. I still think about it. I still like, oh my god, I can't believe the author did all those stuff. It was so good as well. obviously 5 out of 5 stars, and it was just such an enjoyable book, and it will be like, maybe not like on the favorite books of the whole year, but like one of my favorites reads of this year. There's a separation there somewhere. It's just so good, and I still think about it, and I'm very excited. I actually ordered a sequel, it still haven't arrived. It's taking ages. Not that I would read it now, I just want it. I feel like overall, considering how I was in the beginning and like how I wasn't sure of how I would feel about the books, because like I have read many of Jade's FAES that I haven't enjoyed, I feel like these were all really good picks for me, where I mean like there was none of these I felt a bit like meh about. I really enjoyed all of them for different things. And like, while I don't think all of them would be like my favorite of all time, there's still books I would recommend and think about and be like, yeah, that was a really good book and could talk about. So I feel like it was a good pile. It was a good ride, and I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I had a good time. Yay! I'm very happy. Leave a orange heart emoji down below if you enjoy this little video. You should see me soon in a new one. Check out my page down below if you want to support my channel further. And you should see me soon. Bye!